Welcome back to Run 50 States My Way. It's Ashley, and this video is part 2 of our Corning, New York Runcation adventures from the Wineglass Marathon. Again, it is a throwback to 2018 because this was state number 3 for us in our journey to run a race in every one of the 50 states. I'm going to put a link to the description below for part 1 where we showcase our time at the Wineglass Marathon because after all, we'll run for wine. I still have the hat I bought at the expo and it still remains one of my favorite hats. So I thought I'd wear it for this little video recap today to celebrate our time when we were at Corning and the Wineglass Marathon. All the fun things to do in the Corning area. So for those of you who don't know, New York, what's the first thing you think of? New York City, right? Well, Corning to me was an amazing place to go to for a runcation because it's a location that I've always wanted to go to. It's like the Napa Valley of the East Coast where the Finger Lakes region is located. So when Ryan came and approached me about doing the Wineglass Marathon in Corning, New York, I was sold because I have always wanted to go there. And I said, absolutely, as long as we get to include some stops at some of the wineries while we're there. So in this video, we're going to highlight 2 of the wineries we go to. We're going to highlight our time and our trip using our race bibs for our discount at the Corning Museum of Glass. At the Corning Museum, we also got to make our own glass pumpkins, which is something I've always wanted to do. And then we also highlight the after party that took place at the Rockwell Museum. Now, a couple things to note about Corning as I dive into this video. It is an amazingly cute small town, very historical, right along the water because you need water to make glass. It's steeped in history. It's where Corel glass comes from. So that's like the plates that you can drop. They are the ones that sponsored the 5K, and we actually got a really cute plate that I still have from doing the 5K. Super cute. You get to see a large store in the downtown Main Street area where you pick up the plates after the race. That's all things Corel, which is really, really great. But again, really cute small town. Like I mentioned in our first video, the night before the race, there were a lot of galleries open. It was like a gallery hop where you could sample wine and paint and just see some of the local artists and things like that. So it's really cute. I highly recommend using Corning as kind of a base if you're in the Finger Lakes region. And the one place that I wish we would have stayed, this is where I learned the importance of an official race hotel, was the Radisson. The Radisson is located, if you think about Corning as kind of an old-timey downtown, like traditional downtown where there's just a main street. The Radisson is all the way at the end and it opens up into that main street. Why this is important is because, as you saw in video 1 with some of the pictures, the finish line for the Wineglass Marathon comes right down that main street area and you finish right there in downtown Corning. So it made it really nice to then just have the hotel right there. We stayed at a budget type hotel a little further, kind of by the freeway. Big mistake. I really wish we had stayed at the Radisson. The Radisson, the day of the race, put out a nice spread for the runners. It's where you picked up the bus. So we had to go there anyway. They had like bananas and coffee and granola bars and all types of stuff. I actually hung out in the lobby of the Radisson for a little while because it was raining before I went and explored the finish line area, waited for some of the shops to open and things like that because Ryan had to be on the bus so early in the morning. So if you are looking to do the Wineglass Marathon, I highly, 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 highly recommend staying at the Radisson. They also had a pasta dinner the night before the marathon. Now, I don't know if they're doing that this year because of coming back from racing. I know that the race last year didn't happen because of COVID. And again, we did the race in 2018, which feels like, you know, eons and eons ago. But I do know that this year is the 40th anniversary, so I'm sure that they're not going to, you know, do anything by halves. I think they're going to bring the red carpet to Corning because everybody's going to be really excited that the race and the running is back. So with this video, again, you're gonna see more pictures. I apologize for that up front. I am gonna do a voiceover narration of the clips and the video, and of the pictures, because here's the deal, everybody. When I first started the adventure, I didn't know if I was gonna be doing things like this and vlogging, or if I was gonna do things the more traditional, conventional route with blogging. Now, I still try to keep up with the Run 50 States My Way blog, but I gotta be honest, it just takes more time than cutting the videos. And I really prefer talking to everybody and making friends through YouTube and when I make the videos in person at all of the locations. As we saw with our Utah runcation, each time I'm using the Osmo and each time I'm videoing, I'm getting more and more comfortable. But this was early in our journey, so there's more pictures than videos. And that's what we're gonna see with some of the states coming up next. It is going to be more pictures instead of videos. As we continue to add locations and add states, it's actually gonna be the opposite, more videos, less pictures. So hopefully you're cool with that for these recap throwback videos celebrating our initial early races, because I want to share those experiences with all of you guys as well, because I think it's important to share some of the tips and some of the awesome things that we did while we were in the area if you're planning your own runcation and looking for a really great place to do it. Again, Corning, New York. So let's first start off with our stop from Ohio to the New York border, where we came upon an amazing rest stop.
Our first stop into New York was the Lake Chautauqua Rest area to grab brochures and take in the beauty of the lake. Absolutely gorgeous, don't just drive by this stop. We continued our journey to the Finger Lakes with lunch and wine tasting at Heron Hill, which Travel + Leisure magazine ranked as one of the top 10 most spectacular tasting rooms in the world, one of only 2 in the US. They were so right. The views were incredible, and the tasting room gift shop is designed to look like the inside of a wine barrel. Lunch was delicious, but the view was what made this trip extra special. Our favorite wine was the dry Riesling. Tasting is $10 for 5 wines. And when making this video, I learned that the cafe is no longer there, but you can still get a meat and cheese box with a baguette for the perfect snack while enjoying a glass of wine. Our next stop was Constantin Frank Winery, which honestly was not a favorite. It was recommended for us to stop here by a friend who does really enjoy Constantin Frank wines. Remember, wine tasting is completely subjective, so we still recommend a stop here. After the race was a tasting event at the Rockwell Museum, a Smithsonian affiliate. Housed in Corning's Old City Hall, the museum tells the story of the American experience through fine art. The diverse collection includes a mix of 19th century American paintings, historic bronzes, Native American objects, 20th century modernists, illustration art, and contemporary photography. As we toured the museum with our race bibs, we got to enjoy wine and spirits from other regional favorites. My favorite of the day was the unoaked Chardonnay from McGregor Vineyard. I don't like Chardonnay and was wowed, completely sold. Great job, McGregor. Our last stop while in Corning was to check out the famous Glass Museum. We had lunch in the cafe and spent hours here. The museum is large and has a lot to see and do. Your admission ticket allows 2 days to explore the museum. There are over 50,000 objects at this museum spanning 35 centuries of glass. We got to see live glass blowing demonstrations, learn history, see amazing contemporary glass art, and a bucket list item for us was making our own glass object. Keep in mind that glass items need to cool, an annulling process for a day, and are not available right away to take home, so plan your time around this experience if it is something you want to do. I recommend making a reservation, and again, plan your time accordingly. The whole process takes about 15 to 30 minutes, where you get to design and then blow your glass object. You are kept safe away from the fire, so bear in mind that the staff member does do most of the work. Save time for the gift shop because it is also huge and a great place to pick up fun things to take home. This was a destination that I wish we had planned more time. A long weekend was not enough time to really enjoy all the Finger Lakes and Corning area have to offer. One day I do hope to go back because there really is so much to see and do. There will be links in the description below of all of the places that we've talked about in today's video. I hope you enjoyed our memory lane trip back to 2018. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to continue on our running journey through the 50 states, one race at a time. Thanks for watching.